Yes, Nicola and PM, how are you? Very, very nice to meet you in Copenhagen the other day. There's going to be a lot to talk about now in the future, and it's just another good step forward in the right direction in my mind for XXY togetherness, and also people connectedness, so that we can eradicate, as we were talked about at the table, this whole idea that it's just a world full of males and females, when obviously it's really just not. It's a bit more complex than that. I was going to say complicated, but that's a bit negative, isn't it? So it's a bit more complex, and so it was really, really nice to meet you. And of course, PM, it was a surprise because I'd forgotten that you were XXY. So Nicola didn't really get to talk to you on your gender stuff. That's okay. We'll have other times, and as you know yourselves, I've put I'm going to put an all-out world welcome out there to people in general to come and visit me if you want. I'm going to also try and get around the world more than usual, and just try and help people realize that it's not too bad really to be an XXY. And I'm a perfect example of off and on testosterone. I'm still off testosterone. I'm not even sure if I'll ever go back on the stuff, because I always wanted to be au natural anyway, which means just, taking no drugs. Let's be clear, pharmaceutical drugs. And so it was a pleasure to meet you, PM. It was brilliant. You're a lovely guy, and I'm gonna say it. This is what actually probably does get me in trouble on the internet, because people generally like to keep things private, but I didn't get any feeling from you on that. But if I was wrong, then please, tell me. That's one thing I don't feel that I need to explain to people when I first meet them. I think it's quite obvious that I like to have things in the open because of all my videos on absolutely every thought that I have in my brain on YouTube. And but basically, this is what I want to say, is that myself and PM, we went into the toilet of the restaurant that we were having a beer at, and we did a cock and ball show. Can you imagine what that is, people? We pulled down our trousers and our boxer shorts and revealed our penis and testicle size to each other, because I think that's very important for people who are intersexed, basically, to be able to compare themselves with other people. I mean, most women, let's say, with breasts, they compare themselves, with their breast size and even their vagina size. And of course, most people know that men are so dick society or dick-socized, I don't know what word we should use there, but they're so into their dicks and thinking that dick is the most important thing they need for sex and blah blah. I mean, it is an important thing, but it's not the most important thing. Most men don't realize that you don't just hump like this, with your dick. God gave us hands, no, hello, and noses to get in there. Oh yeah. So anyway, so basically my point is that most guys do compare themselves with other guys' dicks, and most of the time you only see guys' dicks in saunas. Of course, European saunas, because I can imagine in America that you're not naked in the sauna. And then maybe in FKK places, that's nude beaches. Again, we're talking Europe here. And then you see them in the shower, which was generally everywhere in the world. I think most men are naked in the shower when they're showering. And that's when guys start to see that their penis is smaller than average, or larger than average, or average, whatever. Or in some cases, very minuscule. But I have seen documentaries over about penis size, and there was one person with a very small penis. He didn't show it on camera, but he showed with his finger, like, he went like this, it's this size, whatever, it's this size erect, and don't read into my there, please, people. But he said that he can still have sex because he can rub his penis off the clitoris, basically, and go inside, that much, and sometimes that is absolutely fine for women. And of course, again, as I said, you can use your hands, your fingers, and your nose. So sometimes when you've got a big nose, it can come in handy, so people out there with big noses, don't worry too much, because, your nose is big and your penis might be small, so you can use your nose instead of your dick, So all is well and good. So we did a cock and ball showing exhibition, which was great. I did ask other xxys to do that in the past. One other did that as well with me, and so it is great to do that. I think it's important, and I would recommend that to all xxys when they meet, to pull down their trousers and their boxer shorts and just simply show the natural goods, the natural genitalia of our species, and not to be ashamed of it and not to be embarrassed. And I am a hypocrite when I say that, in a way, because I am myself a bit embarrassed when I take off my boxers in a public place, like say a nude beach. And I don't go to saunas because I know that most of the guys there are going there to enjoy the sauna as well, but also to to let their big member hang down in between their legs and and show off or whatever, and I wouldn't like to be in such a small enclosed environment, like four walls around me, stuck in a hot room full of guys naked, and me having to be the guy with the smallest member, and there are rare occasions that there is somebody that has got a smaller member than I do, and they generally seem totally fine with it. So I think it's the hormone imbalance that can make you feel not so confident and insecure, basically. Because there's a lot of people out there that have got all sorts of defects, let's say, or which in fact aren't defects. It's just the medical community will call you a defect. It's just the way you are. It's the way you've become. It's the way you're meant to be, maybe. And anyway, so it was really nice to meet these two people, and I really appreciated them coming to meet me, because they've given, or at least one of them, Nicola, you've given me so much support, and I've been encouraged by you, and by many people, by the way, but each one of you that has made a difference and a contribution in my life and my mission. I don't know how I'm going to repay you in the future, but if I ever could repay you in anything that you wanted and that I had, well, I'd give it to you straight away. So thank you very much, people. Bye now. Peace.